Okay, India, I don't know what is happening. In Netflix, there is a show called Too Hot to Handle, and it was too hot to handle for me. I couldn't watch it for more than 1 minute because apparently it's the number one trending show worldwide. I can understand why Europe and America are doing this, where they're putting 10 beautiful people on an island and they're not allowing them to have sex. That's the story of every Indian person from the day they were born. Why are India watching this? This is the story of our lives. It's hard-hitting reality. It's not a fun show to watch. What the hell is wrong with Indian people? The virus has really gotten to your brains if you're watching this show. This is the story of our lives. If they were allowed to do whatever they wanted to do, that is wonderful to watch. If they're not allowed to do it, it's your and my freaking sad story.
So, on behalf of largely myself, and speaking to a lot of artists out there, and I think a lot of stand up comics, I want to tell you what the nature of being trolled feels like. And I think I'm an authority on that subject because I get trolled a lot. It's not a good feeling. It's possible to toughen up and develop a thick skin. But what happens when you get trolled excessively is it kills that inner child inside you. The child never sought to get applauded, never sought to get criticized. The child wanted to express and wanted to be listened to. What happened after listening was either appreciation or trolling or whatever it may be, and that fed your ego. But before ego, there was the child. There was a child which put something out there and said, that child is meant to be protected. That child is meant to be preserved. That child is meant to be taken into safe spaces and said, would you like to try it again? And that child sometimes gets killed in the process. It's important to keep that spirit of that little inner child alive, because that's where all art is born. You may have a great joke, you may have a bad joke, but the need to say a joke comes because that inner child found something funny and there was a giggle inside. That giggle inside is what you're trying to translate. And then all your skill and your time and your energy and your rigor and your testing, everything is an embellishment to that little giggle. It's very difficult to keep that giggle alive when you get trolled excessively. I don't have answers to it yet, but I constantly try to keep that inner child alive. It's not easy. Another important thing is largely I think to the younger generation of people out there. I come from a generation of people where in my time, not many opportunities were there where some people asked me what I thought of things. I don't think anybody solicited my opinion. And as a younger person, I was not allowed to have an opinion. And we didn't have social media where we could air our opinions. So I think that entire habit of forming an opinion on a piece of art or media you consumed or a product you used was non-existent. You just consumed it and you felt something and then you moved on. You didn't air it out, you didn't express it. Today we're into hyper-consumerism, where the entire aspect of having an opinion on something has become exalted. Our opinion, I watched this, here's my opinion on this. Now, the making of art is antithetical actually to having an opinion. Making of art, you're actually stripped of all opinion. You're just creating something that you love. You love is the only opinion you probably work on at that point of time. You're not thinking of what will they say. I've heard so many opinions about, you're not having a point of reference. Inside you may have a point of reference, but you're not looking to create something for consensus. The more opinions you have, the more you believe your identity is all about opining on things. Here's my opinion on the latest Netflix series. Here is my opinion on a new show that I watched. Here is my opinion on a piece of art. That much of time you're stealing away from the ability to create something absolutely fresh and new, and maybe even stupid. But unless you create something stupid, unless you create, you won't know what creation feels like. And the more time you spend creating, the more time you are in touch with something divine. The more time you're opining, I think that's the antithesis of that thing that you could do that could be divine.